A school budget vote is delayed after protesters shut down a Madison school board meeting. Hear their concerns and from the board president.
Former Vice President Joe Biden campaigns for Wisconsin Democrats in Madison today. Highlights from his stop. Plus, we'll hear from Republicans tonight at 6.
This is News 3 at 6.
Protesters shut down a Madison school board meeting last night, causing a delay in the vote to approve the district's proposed $415 million budget.
Those protesters chanted how they don't want a police presence in schools and will not support a budget that puts money towards police instead of school counselors. Our Jamie Perez spoke with both sides about what happened last night, and she joins us now in the news center with more. Jamie?
So this particular group has been coming to board meetings for the last 2 years. Board members say they welcome public input, but in a way that they can still conduct their meetings as scheduled. While something like this has never happened before, this group that spoke out at yesterday's meeting says they hope their message was loud and clear. This group, known as Freedom Inc., has been showing up to Madison Metro's school board meetings for years.
No cops! If we don't get it!
But last night, these chants caused the meeting to shut down.
We're going into recess. No justice! We're going into recess. No.
Last night, it felt like people came to purposely disrupt the meeting.
And what's disruptive is them continuing to put money into police instead of putting it into our youth.
The board was supposed to vote on a more than $415 million budget, but had to postpone based on what board president Mary Burke called an unacceptable protest.
It was disappointing. She continues to silence us and continues to ignore our messages.
Their message of concern over police presence on school grounds.
No racist! No racist!
Freedom Inc. doesn't support any budget that continues to invest money into the criminalization of children and not into their growth and development.
Mary says the school has done their research to show that police presence is recommended.
We have had an ERO ad hoc committee studying this issue for the last year and a half, a topic that we will be looking at with regards to renewing the contract with Madison Police for the 2019-20 school year.
Around school safety, around school shootings as an excuse to keep police in schools.
Bianca says instead of investing money for cops on campus, that money should be used towards counselors. Mary said that kind of support is already in the budget.
We have those supports built into the budget.
Freedom Inc. says they will continue to show up to school board meetings to achieve their goal of removing all police presence from school grounds.
No cops! No cops! No cops!
The district said they will have another meeting scheduled for tomorrow afternoon to decide on that budget. Again, Mary Burke says the board welcomes public comments made at these meetings. Bianca said members from Freedom Inc. will continue to voice their concerns at those meetings until they feel that something is done about it.
Jamie Perez in our news center. Jamie, thank you.
Well, some folks saw some storms move through with late October lightning. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti has your first alert forecast. Gary?
Yeah, those showers and storms did pop up early this afternoon, pretty much in the area that we expected them to, but they were a little more widespread and a little more intense with the lightning, but no severe weather from these thunderstorms other than some very small hail that was reported in a few spots. But you can see how the showers and storms basically fired up from Madison on toward the south and east, kind of what we expected yesterday. You can see most of the rain now over the southeastern portion of the state. The heavier thunderstorms are down toward Kenosha and into the northwestern suburbs of Chicago. And northwest of Dane County, the rain has pretty much come to an end. Low temperatures this morning started out right around 40 degrees, give or take a degree or two. High temperatures today, mid to upper 50s to around 60 degrees. That was before the rain started. Here in Madison, we've had some showers go through, and temperatures have dropped into the lower 50s. Whereas farther out to the west, temperatures are still in the middle 50s out toward Boscoville and Prairie du Chien, where they got very little in the way of rain. Temperatures will drop into the lower 40s by early tomorrow morning. Halloween actually looks to be very nice with partly sunny skies, a high temperature of 56. That's your first alert forecast.
Thanks, Gary. The Dane County Sheriff's Office is investigating a homicide in the town of Dane, just south of Lodi. After interviewing witnesses all day, no one has been arrested. Amanda Quintana is live in downtown Madison, where Sheriff Dave Mahoney gave a late afternoon update on this case. Amanda?
Yes, Sheriff Mahoney had that press conference here at the Public Safety Building. He said that nobody is in custody, but he did give us an idea of what happened before that early morning 911 call. He says a group of people got into a fight, but what about, he would not say. A call originally reported as a battery and unresponsive man turned into a homicide case. We now know this is all a result of a fight.
At the conclusion of the confrontation, the deceased was left in the residence alone and severely injured. At approximately 4:20 a.m., one of those occupants of the residence returned and found the deceased unconscious and unresponsive.
Sheriff Dave Mahoney says the fight started when about 2 people joined a gathering of 3 to 4 at this home on Highway 113 last night, but he wouldn't say why. Hours later, just before 4:30 this morning, the 911 call came in, but first responders couldn't save the man.
Came home and saw 8 or 9 police cars and didn't really know what's going on. It kind of gives you a weird feeling that essentially your neighborhood isn't secure anymore. That just gives you the willies.
Donald Gillis, who lives on a farm right behind the home where the man was killed, says seeing all the flashing lights was a little scary.
You never really think somebody's gonna get killed right across the street from you.
Although he didn't know the residents, he says something like this is very odd for the neighborhood. Many of the questions he has, sheriff's deputies are still trying to figure out the answers to.
Interviews continue to take place, and as a result of those interviews, our detectives will make a determination.
That determination, if someone should be arrested and who. Sheriff Mahoney says of those 5 or 6 people that were in that fight, nobody else was injured, but all of them left the victim there severely injured. Now, one person did come back to check on him, and that is who called 911. We are expected to learn the name of that victim tomorrow after an autopsy that will happen early in the morning.
Amanda, thank you.
Beloit woman accused of sexually assaulting her fiancé with a screwdriver was in court today. Precious Bailey was arrested last week for allegedly beating a man. She claims she saw him abusing her child in a vision. Police say there was nothing wrong with the child. Bailey being held at $25,000 cash bond. A woman accused of shooting and killing a man in a downtown Madison parking lot heads back to court Thursday. A cash bond of $100,000 set for 21-year-old Kenyara Gadsden today. She's accused in the fatal shooting of Stephen Villegas early Sunday in a State Street campus ramp. Surveillance images and information from witnesses led to Gadsden's arrest.
The DeForest Area School District is keeping part of its middle school closed for the rest of the week. Staff is working on a plan to remove mold from the 7th and 8th grade side of the school. 7th and 8th graders were kept home the last 2 days while public health employees investigated. They will head back to school tomorrow and Friday, but 5th and 6th graders will be off. You can read about the scheduled changes on our website, channel3000.com.
Democrats are hoping a visit from the nation's former vice president could help lead them to victories next week. Today, Joe Biden urged more than 1,000 people at UW-Madison to vote early. He was joined by Democratic candidates on the ballot, including Tony Evers and U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin. Evers touting his plans to fix roads, fund public schools, and accept federal Medicaid expansion money. Biden called for civility to be brought back to politics and emphasized the need to elect, quote, people of character in the upcoming election.
This is bigger than politics, this election. I mean, it really is bigger than politics. You know, there's something different. I think we're in a battle for America's soul, who we are as a country. I really do. We've been there before.
In Wisconsin, what unites us is far greater than what divides us. We can unite this state on November 6th.
The former VP is hoping to turn out young voters, the hardest demographic to reach. His visit comes just days after former President Obama spoke at a high school in Milwaukee. Meanwhile, Wisconsin Republicans spent the day campaigning together. Governor Walker and Senator Ron Johnson made a stop in Green Bay this morning. He tweeted a reaction to the Biden rally saying, quote, not sure I'd believe much coming from Tony Evers today. He brought serial plagiarist Joe Biden into Wisconsin. So between the two of them, who knows where they're getting their facts? The governor says he is the right person to keep moving Wisconsin forward.
We've got a game plan to keep building off the success we had, to keep moving Wisconsin forward, to keep our state working for generations to come. And
he's a person of integrity, of courage. He's literally put Wisconsin on the right path. Remarkable achievement. He deserves re-election.
Vice President Mike Pence planning to visit northwestern Wisconsin this week in a campaign with Governor Walker. That rally Saturday at a trucking company in Hudson. Polls show the governor's race in a dead heat. The latest Marquette Law School poll comes out tomorrow.
Several school districts have referendums on the ballot next week.
And just ahead at 6, a closer look at a third proposal in the Beloit Turner School District on Election Day. The details. Stay with us. The Beloit Turner School District wants to update several of its buildings. Next Tuesday, people will be asked to vote on a facilities referendum for a third time.
School officials shared their ideas with Adam Duxter today and hope the third time's the charm.
On the surface, Townview Elementary School looks like any other elementary school. Art on the walls, a classroom full of desks. But district leaders say there's a lot that lies beneath the surface.
It's a 1950s building. It's an outlier of a facility. It literally sits in the middle of a cornfield. There's no housing development around it. We have to bus all of our students out there. It sits on a county highway.
But that's not all.
It's on a well system, septic system, does not have high-speed fiber, small classrooms, gymnasium, shared cafeteria, no air conditioning in the building.
Simply put, District Superintendent Dennis McCarthy says the school needs to go. Last year, he and his staff drafted a referendum that would replace the school. It failed by 3 votes.
We were discouraged, obviously.
Now another opportunity at a referendum, this time to replace Townview Elementary School and create a new space to expand the STEM program, which gives older students the opportunity to learn skilled trades. McCarthy knows any referendum will be met with skepticism and says he expects no less for this plan.
I think for folks who look at it and say, don't raise my taxes, we can look back at them and say, for 9 years we haven't. And not many districts can say that.
Some neighbors in the area say when it comes to this vote, they have their children in mind.
I really think they should go to the school and see what the kids are having to deal with. The kids are missing out on some of the key things they need.
Well, McCarthy says it's about the community as a whole.
We need to present something that looks to the future. It's our children's children that are going to be in that building. And if we don't value that as an educational system, and we don't value that with a community like that, I think we've kind of lost our focus.
And while I couldn't find someone who opposes the referendum to go on camera today, McCarthy says one of the biggest concerns about the referendum is the tax increase. He says should the referendum pass, it would up property taxes about $100 per $100,000. In our bureau at the Janesville Gazette, Adam Duxter, WISC News 3.
Those in the district will vote on this in next week's election. To hear more about the plans for the referendum, visit our website, channel3000.com.
Showers will be coming to an end this evening, and we should see a very nice Halloween across much of southern Wisconsin with pleasant temperatures. I'll have your first alert forecast in just a few minutes.
Firefighters think lightning caused the fire at a home in Middleton.
The home is located on Ellington Way. A mother and daughter were able to get out of that house after it caught fire. Firefighters say there were multiple lightning strikes reported throughout Dane County this afternoon. And Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti joining us now, hoping all that's moved through. It's not often you see that kind of lightning this late.
It's not that uncommon. It's just the fact that we weren't expecting it in the first place. I didn't have thunderstorms in the forecast, but the showers developed right at the time of day where the atmosphere is a little more unstable. We were able to pop up the clouds to the point where you could get some lightning out of them. And a couple of them even produced some very small hail, pea-sized hail, reported in Middleton. But you can see just how quickly now the showers are heading off toward the east. The heavier thunderstorm cells are north of Milwaukee and down across, near Zion, Illinois, moving out into Lake Michigan. If we put the radar into motion, you can see the first batch of showers and thunderstorms, a narrow line moved to the east, and then some showers filled in behind it. But look at how sharp that demarcation is on the back edge of the precipitation. The rain chances will come to an end pretty quickly this evening. Nothing to the north and west, which bodes well for tomorrow. In fact, if you look at the satellite imagery, skies are even clearing out north and west of the Twin Cities. So for tomorrow, the trick-or-treaters at this time, they're not going to be worrying about rain. They're going to be worried about how many treats they can put in their bags, because temperatures will be very nice. 55 about 4 p.m., 50 by around this time, and middle 40s by the time trick-or-treating ends around 8 o'clock tomorrow evening. Live view from the Platteville-Queeby radio sky cam, showing plenty of clouds there, a little bit of light rain from time to time. The WISC sky cam now looking out toward the east. You can see how dark it has gotten now. The Edgewater sky cam in downtown Madison showing the Capitol lit up, and still a little wet in the downtown area, but the showers are pretty light. Low this morning, 41, a little bit above the average low of 35, high temperature 56, a couple degrees above normal as well. We've dropped to 51 with light rain still being reported at the airport. Winds out of the south-southwest at 3 miles per hour will shift around to the northwest, and that's what will really start drying out the air. Temperatures are in the 50s here. They're a little cooler to the north and west, where the winds have shifted to the northwest, and you can pretty well pick out where the cold front is right here. Winds out of the south through the Chicago area. They shift to the northwest through much of northwestern Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Iowa, and that will eventually bring down this drier air from the north and west. So as the jet stream shifts a little farther to the south, that will allow the air to dry out. The main storm track will set up to our south, keeping us relatively quiet for a couple of days, even though temperatures will turn a little cooler toward the end of the week. The cold front right through here. A second front to the north and west will drop in for Thursday, dropping our temperatures a little bit more. So tomorrow should be very similar to today temperature-wise, but it'll be a little cooler on Thursday and Friday. To our south, temperatures are in the 70s into parts of eastern Illinois, but to our north and west, those temperatures now in the 40s, even a few upper 30s near the U.S.-Canadian border. For tonight, look for cloudy skies, evening showers, maybe an isolated thunderstorm coming to an end, and then skies clearing late with low temperature dropping to 40. Tomorrow for Halloween, partly sunny and pleasant, a great day for the trick-or-treaters, high at 56. Future track pretty much has the rain right where it is now, heading off, and by midnight it's gone. By tomorrow morning, temperatures around 40 as skies clear out. Look for partly sunny skies tomorrow, high temperatures in the middle 50s. For tomorrow night, partly cloudy skies, low temperatures dropping into the middle 30s, and look for high temperatures a little cooler, perhaps upper 40s to lower 50s on Thursday. As we look at the 7 to 10 day forecast, temperatures a little cooler still for Friday, but we've taken the rain out of the forecast for Friday. Saturday will be dry, maybe a rain chance Saturday night and Sunday, not looking at any flakes of snow mixing in there. Perhaps by late election night, we could see a few flakes of snow, and then cooler weather at the end of next week.
Well, you can definitely call this a new era in Green Bay as the Packers dealing out players for draft picks ahead of the deadline today. We'll have all the details next in sports. Well, it is a new era in Green Bay. First-year general manager Brian Gutekunst definitely not taking the same path that Ted Thompson was on. It was an eventful hour or so for the Packers before the trade deadline, which was at 3 Central today. After the respective speeches from Mike McCarthy and Ty Montgomery yesterday, it appeared that both sides wanted out. So Montgomery has been traded to the Baltimore Ravens. In return, the Packers will get a 7th-round draft pick in 2020. Among the things that Montgomery said yesterday, he was unsure of his role on the team and was given limited opportunities. Ty only played 6 snaps from scrimmage in the Sunday's loss to the Rams. Well, this one stings a little bit more for the Packers. They also traded free safety HaHa Clinton-Dix to the Redskins for a 4th-round pick in the 2019 draft. The 25-year-old out of Alabama has been a starter since his rookie season in 2014. The Packers picked him in the 1st round that year, and he also played in the Pro Bowl in 2016. In the first 7 games this season, he's put up 3 interceptions, a sack, and a forced fumble. The Packers, though, they now have 10 picks in the 2019 draft. So let's take a look at that 2015 draft class, by the way, under Ted Thompson's reign. The only guy left standing right now is Jake Ryan, but he's on injured reserve and also in the final year of his rookie contract. Mike McCarthy not available to speak to the media today. Other big moves for the trade deadline today, Dante Fowler Jr., who the Packers were trying to get as well. He goes from the Jaguars to the Rams. Golden Tate from Detroit to Philadelphia, and Broncos wide receiver Demaryius Thomas, he is heading to Houston. The first installment of the college football playoff rankings of the season tonight, and the Badgers are not on it. Wisconsin also fell out of the top 25 in the Associated Press poll this week. But head coach Paul Chryst and the team, they've never been fans of rankings and outside perception, regardless of their success during the season. And given where they are right now, a 5-3 record and 1 win away from becoming bowl eligible, the overall message of the season does not change, according to Coach Chryst.
That is to make the most of each opportunity. And at the end of the year, you earn what you get. So we've never talked about if you get these wins at the end of the year, this equals that. Kids know how the system works. And so, therefore, the message doesn't change.
Staying with Big Ten football now, the University of Maryland has reinstated head coach DJ Durkin and athletic director Damon Evans after a 3-month investigation into the program, after offensive lineman Jordan McNair died from heat stroke this past June, and other players reported allegations of abuse within the program. The chairman of the Board of Regents said they believe Durkin has been unfairly blamed for the dysfunction in the athletic department, and according to ESPN, several players, including starters, walked out of a team meeting today held by Durkin. So TBD on what happens next. Also, 4 teams in the Big Ten on the college football playoff rankings tonight.
Well, that's right. First poll out tonight. Final check. Gary, watching that weather as it moves on out.
The showers are really starting to end north and west of Madison. That's just over the last 3 hours. The thunderstorms now pretty much moving out into Lake Michigan. Tomorrow should be a nice day for the trick-or-treaters. Highs in the mid-50s, lots of sunshine. A little cooler for the end of the week. Rain chances early next week, and then even chillier at the end of next week.
All right, Gary, thank you very much, and thanks for joining us for News 3 at 6.
Have a great evening, and we'll see you back here at 10.
Download the new Channel 3000 app and get alerted on your mobile device the minute news breaks. Wherever you go, be the first to know with Channel 3000.